Steve, I'm sure at some point in your career, you were the guy that maybe would be the spot start or kind of the rotational guy, especially maybe when you were younger and you do have a young team. So what was maybe the best advice you got as a player in that situation?
Assuming we're rotating. Look, I think the only thing that's important for players to understand that it's a long season. And similar to how we vocalized it last year and communicate with the group, everybody will be needed and everybody will play a role. How big that role is, we will see at the end of the season, but it's important to understand that all roles are important and need to be fulfilled. And so I think everybody understands that here. And that's really the most advice I would give, is to see things long-term and not short-term.
New England has some very good players, especially in transition. Some guys there, some outlets. I would assume they would love an up and down game. So how do you see what New England brings to the game, and how do you counteract that?
Yeah, it's physically a very talented team. It's a deep roster. It's going to be a very difficult group to beat. They're good competitors, and I expect nothing less from a Bruce Arena team. He's excellent at getting his group ready to compete and to win games, and that's what they do. So I think for us, yeah, it's important to control the game when we have the ball, to make sure our counter press and our offensive marking is organized and implemented well. Without the ball, we need to stay compact and not get disconnected, and I think we did a great job of that the other night, and I expect more of the same tomorrow.
Steve, can you talk about Carlos and how he's kind of feeling this season, coming into this season after winning the MLS Cup and winning all the trophies? Seems like he's more relaxed, having more fun, and it seems like there's no stopping him. He's not stopping anytime soon.
No, his response, and not just Carlos's, every player came out of the off season in great spirits, and not surprisingly, but I was very happy to see how hungry they still were. And I think that's really important. And when your captain is the one coming in and starting to set the tone early in the early days of preseason, it can only be good for the group. And that's exactly what he's done. We need not just players like Carlos, but all of our guys to have that mentality.
Okay, last question here. We saw action from Sergio Valencia and Timothy Tillman. I know who's a competition now. I mean, what are your thoughts of their first minutes with the team?
Both of them came in very well the other night. Were extremely effective. For me, no surprises there. It's what I've seen every day in training. And so both are seasoned pros, understand exactly what we expect of them, and are able to handle that situation, as well as with Steve Buick that came in on extremely well on top of that. So yeah, we have guys who can start games for sure and help us out. And our level does not drop one bit.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Well, see you guys.